The largest booth fee I've ever incurred. I'm gonna freaking die if I don't. Almost cried about it. In case, you know, I do get robbed in the middle of the night. I don't stay here late enough at night for them to do it. I might be able to do a pull-up on this, but I don't want to risk that.
Guys, I think he hates me. Okay.
We're cooked. Dropped my camera. We're not starting off the show very well because the Osmo Pocket has fallen and died. Let me show you guys a mirror of what you guys look like right now. As you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, the viewfinder is black, it's broken. The screen fell, hit the ground because it was windy. The drape knocked it over and it cracked. I have to send in my Osmo for repair. This is a tragedy. The next couple episodes are going to be phone footage only. I only have a couple time lapses here at Long Beach that were recorded on the Osmo Pocket before I sent this back into the DJI Care. I submitted a service request and hopefully they can repair it within the next month at least so I can record the next couple shows. It's a little unfortunate. Things happen. It was kind of cursed because I had a couple friends who talked about also breaking their Osmo literally within the same week, and my Osmo just happened to break as well. That is not the point of this video. We're here to talk about if we can make back the overhead because this is the most expensive show I've ever paid for. $600 booth fee for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, $150 each day here outside of the bookstore at Cal State Long Beach. On top of that, because of the weird situation we're in, a $1,175 fee for my insurance and umbrella coverage. That is chunky. And I'll talk about that a little bit, why insurance was necessary, but also why it costs so much. So in total, on top of parking, which is $15 each day, so $60 over the course of the week, that adds up to be about $1,785 just to be here. Oh my God, the largest booth fee I've ever incurred. But hopefully we can make it back, right? Hopefully not only can we make it back, we can 4X it. That's the goal. We're not gonna be sure if that's possible, but I have high hopes. We have a good setup. We're under a 10 by 10 here outside of the bookstore, but technically we have 20 by 20 worth of space allocated to us. So here's the situation. I'll show you guys right now. So hopefully with whatever power this Osmo allows me to, I'm gonna record whatever footage I can today, and then everything will be on my phone from here on forward. Please forgive me. I really want to stay on this video grind. I gotta show you guys something. Literally the best I have is the DJI app, and so that's how I'm able to see what you guys are seeing on the screen right now. Otherwise I have no idea. It's just a black screen. Earlier this morning I thought it completely broke because I tried to connect to the app and it wasn't working. So I was like, okay, maybe that my DJI just overheated and I'm cooked. I'm totally done for. But luckily I'm not completely done for. And I don't really know on the app right now, the colors look a little desaturated. So if it looks a little desaturated, that is why. Maybe when the Osmo fell, it also caused some color damage inside as well. I have absolutely no idea. This is the inside of the 10 by 10. We have so much space right here. Look at this. You can literally walk around, maybe even do a backflip in here. We have our bench, 6-foot bench that we brought. All my chairs were really funky, really broken chairs, so that's why we got it. Also, for the Long Beach show, the last time I came here was in the fall, in early September. Right now it's April 14th through the 17th. It's a Tuesday. Yesterday was a pretty decent day. I came back to Long Beach because I had a little bit of a fan base here. I ended up making more keychains since last time I came out, so I have the shark with the boba, and then we have the shark biting the book, and we also have the shark with a knife, and then we have the shark with the soju, and the shark with the volleyball. All really good keychains. The reason I wanted to come back out to Long Beach was because there were a lot of people asking me to come back, and this is also probably the last time their vendor program is allowing vendors to come onto campus because they are having a lot of construction the following year and possibly the following years after that. So I don't know how much more motion I have in the college scene, but you know, while it lasts, I gotta come back. That's why I decided to return to the campus even though the booth fee is really high. I was confident that I could not only make it back, but make a little extra on top of that during this week. I was hesitant to do this week because the week right after this is UC San Diego, and obviously that's another week-long event to prepare for and stay out there for. But you know, my friends out here are helping me, and that's why I'm allowing myself the chance to do CSU Long Beach, because they are able to make sure that I don't solo the show and go insane out here, because I was gonna crash out yesterday and I was gonna crash out every day without them. So shout out to Fiona and Kayla for helping out. I feel like a live streamer holding my phone to see my viewfinder, because I know a lot of live streamers do that where they're checking chat on their phone. If you guys have seen Kayla often in a lot of other videos, she usually helps me out at anime conventions. This is the first time she's helping me out technically at a college event. Welcome back. She is a regular at the other videos, and I know some of you have been asking Kayla to come back, so here she is.
Hello! Fun fact, we actually met on CSULB campus. We're back to our origins. This is where I first met him. I wasn't in the video because you didn't do a video that time, right? right? It was really hot. Now today wasn't cold, but it was, overcast for a large portion of it.
It's a little windy too. And Fiona as well, chilling in the back here, restocking some of the items in the front. I also met her last time I came out here to CSU Long Beach. So shout out to her, because yesterday I took a nap and I was like, Fiona, I need to take a nap. I'm gonna freaking die if I don't. So she held it down for half an hour.
Yippee. You need rest.
It is true. I need to sleep. Let me show you guys what the booth looks like from the front and a little bit of what the rest of the fair out here looks like. Tukis, this is what I mean by they gave me a 20 by 20. As you can see, my 10 by 10 booth is right underneath this 20 by 20 huger canopy. Across from the bookstore, there's like some of these other spots here. And on the other side, that's where I was last time, right over there. No choice but to have our canopies under this 20 by 20 because they're doing construction in the foreseeable years. These are the only spaces they allocated to us when I'm signing up for the vendor program. It's a little tricky, but we managed to do it. That's why they upgraded the insurance, the normal general liability insurance I have for events. For a lot of college events, at the very minimum, need a general liability insurance policy. And that insurance policy isn't something that guarantees, say for example, if someone stole your merchandise or took it from you, that's not the insurance to cover you for stolen merchandise. The insurance that you're getting and submitting to the university is because you as a vendor are selling products on their campus. The university is a business as well. So when you set up your merchandise, your company within their property, you have to submit a liability insurance because as some customers, say for example, they trip over your merchandise, they get hurt on your canopy, they get hurt with your products, the university should not be liable for that injury or for that incident, for that occurrence. And the insurance that you're buying and submitting to them is saying that you will be liable for the customer interaction, for whatever it is. If someone was harmed, if someone was injured, if there was an incident, you and your insurance company would pay out for the accident and not the university. Also, by no means am I an insurance expert nor tax expert. I don't know much about this. I'm just giving you the information that I knew going into this event and what I had to submit for my policies and documents. Now, the issue here with specifically CSU Long Beach, rather than the other vendor fairs I typically do at like UC Irvine for the week long or UCSD for the week long, and their UC Riverside event I did 2 episodes ago, is because I only have to submit a general liability form that covers me for 2 million general aggregate and 1 million per occurrence. That doesn't mean that I'm paying $1 million for the insurance. It's just that if there's an incident, that's how much the insurance company is willing to shell out because you're subscribed to that policy. I'm only paying $23 approximately each month for my general liability insurance. I use a company called Next Insurance, so feel free to use that as well below if you need a general liability insurance for any of the events that you do. Typically, you only need a seller's permit for anime conventions and such, but in the rare cases that you do need a general liability insurance policy and you're signing up for an event that requires that, that is the one I use. It might fluctuate depending on the quote they give you for your business and for your sales, annual revenue, whatever information you submit, whatever you sell. But that is my policy. It's about $23 a month. And to me, it's worth it. Even though I'm not vending every single month, that fee is relatively small of an investment compared to the amount that I can make doing several different shows at colleges throughout the year. As I mentioned, they only have these 20 by 20 spaces for us, and even though I'm only a 10 by 10, I can't get away with just the 2 million general aggregate and 1 million per occurrence with my general liability. I actually have to get a new policy for one option, or the number 2, which is what I opted for, an umbrella coverage for that general liability. What that means is that I have to pay for another insurance company to lay over on top of the current policy that I have and boost the coverage that I have in order for me to vend here, because I'm technically renting out 20 by 20 worth of space. So obviously the insurance has to cover for more in case an incident occurs, which kind of sucks because, like, say for example, someone trips on the bottom of the back of the booth when I'm not even there, like technically they can sue me because I'm the one renting out this space on campus. The new policy required that I have at least 4 million general aggregate and 2 million per occurrence. So my umbrella coverage boosted each by 2 million that would allow me to reach the requirements, and that was where I incurred the 1,175 additional fee. Obviously, if I didn't have to do that, then the booth fee was only 150 per day and 600 throughout the week. That's honestly a solid deal for this show, but unfortunately I have no other choice. I felt like it was worth it. We're gonna see if the show is worth it for me to do with such a large overhead. For me, if the show is worth it, it's at least 2xing the overhead, but for the amount of time and stress I put into figuring this out, getting the umbrella coverage policy, I would hope that at the end of the week, the revenue we make outside of the cost of the goods is 4x of what the overhead is, but that's just my opinion on what I consider worth it. So I'll evaluate it at the end of the show for you guys. Luckily, yesterday, Monday, we were able to cross the threshold in paying off the overhead for this event, so we did make more than $1,700 and then a little extra on top of that. Today, we'll see. Also for Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see as well. Something I realized while doing these outdoor setups with the pegboards is that it's a lot more accessible if the customers had 4 panels of keychains to choose from. Even though it's the same amount of keychains, if there are a lot more options in terms of what they visually see, then they're more likely to buy and also a lot less likely to suffer from decision fatigue, especially since I got a lot more. If you saw the self-serve setup video, everything was literally on one pegboard, but since we split it up into 2 pegboards, so 4 total panels, things are a lot more cohesive, things are a lot easier to parse through visually, and a lot more people have been purchasing keychains. I've been using this setup since the UCR video and the Chapman video, so it's been going well so far. One of the new items we got for this show, enamel pins. Check them out. Hopefully people do end up purchasing them, but we got the shark one right here, and we have a couple other ones including Hemi the hamster, our store mascot, if that focuses. Check them out, they're so cute. We just got these enamel pins too. We actually have made a couple sales of them. We have actually sold 14 of the enamel pins. Most of them were the shark ones. I think one person bought Hemi the hamster. Since we do get a 20 by 20 worth of space, I did end up using some of the sides here. It's very similar to the UCR situation where they gave us a lot more room. I was able to add a little extra, extend the table out again, and also add all the sticker panels on one other side for people to shop with. An opportunity you wouldn't have with the inline 10 by 10s. But even in the previous location, we still had access to all 3 corners and all 3 sides of the booth, but I guess with this spot I can technically even use the back of the booth if I really wanted to, because it is a 20 by 20, so it's a lot more space. Some people have been walking around to the back of the 10 by 10 canopy to check out if there is anything on the back. A lot more of the other booths out here, like my neighbors on the other side for example, are open concept, so people have been just walking through, and a couple people have those tendencies when they're browsing at my shop as well. You know, even though my camera is broken and I might still try to record some of the content this week at CSU Long Beach on here with the broken viewfinder before sending it out for repairs. Luckily, I did have the warranty for a year, so June 6th, that was the first time I got my Osmo last year. That is how long I have until before any incidents occur and I can send it in for repair. Luckily, it's April, so we have 2 months, a little bit of time. Took until, 10 months in for me to break my Osmo. Would have been great if I didn't have to break my Osmo, but I guess lesson learned. Gotta be a little more careful and cautious with my camera. Even with the camera broken, I'm still gonna try to record content, whether it's on my phone or something else. Go back to the old days for a little bit. But it does definitely throw me off of my systems. I mentioned that earlier, which I wanted to talk about. When everything, is in place and your systems are in place, and in this case, it would mean my workflow, right? In terms of recording videos, editing them on my tablet, having it uploaded straight from the Osmo through the app into my tablet, editing, uploading onto YouTube. Like, that system is smooth. But when one component of your system gets thrown out of place, it's really easy to just crash out and be like, oh my god, it's all over. Like, I can't do it anymore. What are the solutions? You're not even thinking about the solutions sometimes. You're just thrown off. You just don't feel good. You want to maybe cry about it. almost cried about it. I was definitely really sad yesterday when my camera broke. There was a lot of stressors. You know, coming out here, I wasn't sure that my insurance was fully submitted. They said my space was preserved for the week, and all I had to do was submit the certificate of insurance and the additional umbrella coverage policy by Friday, which I did, but they didn't get a chance to respond until Monday. And I was anxious the whole time that I'd have to set up in the morning, and then they would say, yeah, the policy doesn't work. You're gonna have to tear down. So as I'm setting up, literally from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm like still thinking, oh man, what if like today's the only day I can sell? But luckily, my insurance did go through. And so my only other stressors at the time was the fact that I barely got any sleep because I had to drive back from NorCal the night before, come back here for Long Beach and set up here. So again, I'm really grateful to Fiona and Kayla for helping out. But yes, it can be really stressful when something goes wrong and your systems are thrown out of whack, you know, whether that's just being burnt out from drawing and something happens in your studio, say, for example, like your sticker machine breaks or your Apple Pencil, you know, stops working, or your tablet falls to the ground and it cracks and now you can't draw anymore. Like those little things, you know, even though they can be very minor and even though it can seem like it's technically a small inconvenience in the grand scheme of things, they can definitely play a big factor into affecting your mental and emotional state going forward, especially when you have a lot of more responsibilities. When it's right now tax season, it's really stressful for people. Always give yourself some grace when you have minor inconveniences, because it's not the matter of the small inconvenience, it's the fact that something small can affect the system that you have in place that allows you to create a smooth workflow. You know, it's like a dam, like there's a crack in the dam and now all the water is being flooded out, but you have to try to maintain composure and be like, okay, the dam might have some cracks, but let's find a way to repair it right now. The problems most of the time can be resolved. Don't be so hard on yourself the way I am sometimes very harsh on myself when things go wrong. I know I'm a very clumsy person. I know I can make mistakes. That's why my Osmo is broken, but lessons have to be learned somehow. For example, last year, I lost my GoPro in Seattle. Reason was because I had my headphones in while walking down the street and I didn't hear when my camera fell out of my pocket. You gotta make sure your items are a little more secure. But things like this happen, and you gotta make sure that you remain composed and you don't make any rash decisions when you're stressing about something. On that very brief pep talk I wanted to give about maintaining your systems and remaining composed when you have minor inconveniences, we'll get back to the regular. We'll talk more about the show because it's going decent so far. It's the end of the day. Right now it's 4:50, a little passing period. A couple people are shopping for the remaining keychains and stickers and possibly enamel pins they want today. Because we got the pins, I have been promoting them a little more. They're in limited supply of about 100 of each design, so 400 pins. I don't expect them to be top sellers at every show because they are college exclusive. So when I do come to the colleges, I do expect them to sell. They have the chance to buy them here. I know my audience well, and I know that they will buy the pins if I do show up to the colleges because they want to represent their school with some kind of product that is cute. Really grateful for that. And I have been trying to promote them at almost every single transaction. Like, hey, we just got these new pins. Do you want to purchase it? And most of the time they say no, but that's okay. It's good to still try to upsell, especially because I don't really have a display for my pins right now. So I'm just laying them out in the front by the checkout, and I don't really want them to steal it. I also don't want to self-serve the pins because they are a little more valuable, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't really have a whole lot of them. So I'm trying to make sure that whenever people walk up to the checkout and they see the pins, that they know they are available for purchase. They're $15. Shout out to the people who did get the pins today. I think we have about 15 sold. Welcome back to day 3 of the Long Beach Vendor Fair. It's pretty much the end, actually. I'm recording this at 4:55, which is the last 5 minutes before we close up at 5 p.m. today. The day went by very quickly. Didn't really feel like I got much done in terms of work on the iPad. I could have done some sketching, I could have done some editing, but I was feeling kind of tired, just taking it today to go through the motions and rejuvenate a little bit. Numbers aren't bad, but it's like a few hundred off of my ideal average per day in order for us to eventually hit 4x for the show. And because I changed the display out front a little bit using the 20 by 20 space, I think a couple more prints sold. I did run out of the small prints for this Misky sunset, so obviously that didn't sell as much, but we're just gonna conduct probably a few more sales before we head out of here because we were both very hungry, Kayla and I. Yes, we're very hungry for dinner. So we are excited to embark on a food journey after this. Other than that, I kind of consolidated some things for pack out tomorrow. Gonna bring some of the boxes back. I've been doing that each day because there is a lot of keychains in there. In case, you know, I do get robbed in the middle of the night, I'd rather them steal not everything. Not a full box of keychains, at least. because there's a few hundred of them in there, and to me that's like thousands of dollars. You know, with these outdoor events with the 10 by 10 and 20 by 20, they don't close the canopies for you. You just have to close it up with your own walls. I have my drapes in the back, and then I have these extra walls I grabbed. They have little clips on the side, toss them over. I don't have the zip up one, so it's a little unfortunate, but I just trust that the students are nice and they don't rob me in the middle of the night. I mean, granted, I don't think I have anything extremely valuable in here. You know, anything can happen, especially the jewelry shops, they get robbed. But I have just stickers and keychains. Like, they really wanted it that bad, then there's probably something wrong with them.
Not to offend anybody who has stolen.
Full offense to people who have stolen things.
Yeah, bad.
Y'all are foul.
Not for small businesses, guys.
We are closing up here in a few minutes, and then we're gonna go get dinner. I'll show you guys the front of the display, what it kind of looks like right now for day 3 and probably for day 4. This is my space on my right side. I'm extending the table out a good 6 whole feet. In our 20 by 20s, you look over here, like they are able to technically bring it down with these drapes over here. Similar to how that booth over there that I'm kind of facing, those curtains drape down. I don't stay here late enough at night for them to do it. Maybe there's a set time where the drapes actually close, but they might close, they might not. We are still going to consolidate our 10 by 10 regardless. I wanted to say shout out to all the new people who've been stopping by the channel, saying hi, checking out the videos after seeing the self-serve video recently. Still circulating. There have been a couple of people at Long Beach who have come up and said they've seen us from that video, the self-serve video. They want us to make a pegboard and show you guys how to do it. I would love to do that. I don't have the materials yet, but I'm waiting on a couple outdoor shows in the future where I can do that, especially also waiting until my Osmo gets fixed after this, because my camera is broken and I want to fix it before I film more ambitious projects. So we're gonna do a little more talking, a little more chilled down videos. Hopefully that's okay with you guys. But like I said, welcome to all the new Zookies, all the new supporters and fans. I do a lot of videos where hopefully I can get to try doing something new or different, or show a learning experience, my own learning experience, or share some knowledge I have in the space. I know some of the people, they're just consumers, or they watch the videos for fun. They might be interested in Artist Alley, they might be interested in the art, whatever it might be. Some people just click on videos, and whoever you are, I appreciate you still for supporting. My camera breaking definitely brings down my mood a little bit, but I still want to make more interesting videos for you guys. I've been posting weekly for 8 weeks now. It's kind of crazy. I never thought that I would be on the YouTube grind this seriously. Shout out to all the people who do post weekly. It's a lot of work, especially with no editor. I edit all these videos myself, and I do enjoy the process of it, but sometimes I feel like I have to compromise on the quality or the effort put into a video, because I only have a limited amount of time to edit and post it before, you know, hitting my weekly deadline, which is Tuesday. I have to do my uploads on Tuesday. It's a harsh deadline for some shows, especially because if it's a weekend event and it goes into that Tuesday, I realistically only have a day and a half to edit before I upload that evening. A lot of pressure on myself, but I am really excited to embark on more video journeys as well and share my experiences with you guys. The numbers are good. We have 3x'd our total. It's not something I'm dissatisfied with. I would say that's successful. You know, the goal in the beginning is at least to just make back the booth and double it. I know this show was very ambitious as well, time-wise, for me to tackle, but hopefully tomorrow's the last day. We can hit a good number as well. Gonna do my best to promote it, let people know that I'm back at Long Beach. Final day on Thursday. Literally the final day I might be here for a really, really long time. Welcome back.
Hello.
Currently it is 5:20 for us. We're done with CSU Long Beach vendor fair. Didn't really vlog much this week. Just dropped a couple knowledge bombs and dropped my camera. A little vlog anyway, where we just get to chat. I'm gonna assign Kayla the top 10 tedious tasks of putting the little backstops on the keychain pegs in order to make the keychains not fall when we put them back in the boxes. She has to put all these onto the keychain pegs.
We'll see.
I hate it.
Okay.
The tedious ass task.
Guys, I think he hates me.
All day today I was putting my pin backing cards. Finally came in. Super neat. We have it ready for next week at UC San Diego. I did all 4 of the designs that I had, which was the shark, the raccoon, the anteater, and Hemi the hamster on the little backing card. I'm not gonna lie, when I got them printed, they're a little lighter mint green than I anticipated. I wanted them to be a little more greenish, but you know, toned down more to the white. Still doesn't look bad. I think it pops still. But yeah, all of them are done. So we have this entire box of pins here. Our first set of enamel pins. As you can see, Kayla is doing the top 10 tedious tasks of putting these little backstops on all the keychains. I hate doing this, so I have subjected her to torture, essentially.
Is there like a tech for it in case I'm like doing it wrong?
What I do,
Okay.
we're cooked.
Yeah.
There's not much of a tech to it.
Okay.
As I've mentioned before, technically the Long Beach show is the full week, Monday through Friday. The rates used to be, when you could do a 10 by 10 on campus, not the 20 by 20 underneath this giant canopy. They used to be $100 a day, except Friday, which was $25 because there's barely anyone on campus. Long Beach is one of those commuter schools. Most CSU schools are commuter schools. People drive onto campus. They don't have class on Friday. They leave, so it's dead campus. That's why it was only a $25 fee to vend on Fridays. All the other days used to be $100, but they raised it for these booths. So it's actually $150 each day and $50 for Friday. But I don't want to be here Friday. It's really slow. I'd rather just do the 4 main active days. We did a pretty decent number today. We actually did about the same as yesterday, surprisingly. Probably because I told people this is the last time they'll see stickerzoo designs on Long Beach campus, so that's probably why they came out. Shout out to the Sharks, go Beach. In total, we were actually able to barely scratch the surface of 4xing our cost of overhead for the show. It was about $1,175 to be out here in terms of the insurance that I had to pay, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, and then the $600 for the full week, a little bit of parking as well. So 4xing that would be about a little over $7,000, I don't remember. But yeah, we did manage to make that back and a little more. So very nice for this show here at Long Beach. Popular designs, the Smisky that was buff here, it's gone. Got completely ran through by the students here. They absolutely love the Smiskies, but all the other stickers are well in stock. So very happy about that. Good amount of sticker sales, good amount of keychain sales. I think everything went pretty evenly. A couple of the enamel pins started selling towards the end when I brought them on Tuesday. So that was exciting. Some of the prints actually sold once I reoriented my booth display as well. Very happy about that. In the beginning, I was doubtful a little bit. I mean, I was kind of confident. Obviously, that's why I came out to the show. The minimum was the 2x the show, but my ambitious goal was at least to 4x the show, and we have done that. We have successfully done that. Shout out Long Beach. You guys are amazing. Next video is going to be filmed on my phone because my Osmo, as I mentioned many times before, is broken. So we're going to see UCSD probably on the phone. Luckily, I do have this nifty little dongle plus lav mic combo that my friend Sid has graciously gifted me. Apparently with lav mics, the dongle only works if it's a very specific dongle that's not out of date. But yes, lav mics connected to the phone. I don't know why I just dropped the piece there, because if you guys saw from Anime Night Mart back in December of last year, he did gift me this. I'd opened it on camera. We finally get to use it. We're gonna check up on Kayla. She seems to still be doing the top 10 tedious tasks of all time.
I did this board, and now I have the second one. I've discovered that if you just hold the back with one hand and then push it in with the other, for me that personally works rather than like holding it with both. I think both kind of hurts my fingers.
So yeah, essentially what we're doing is we're taking these little back stoppers and putting them onto the keychain peg so that when we take off the keychain peg, the keychains will not come off, as you can see, like that. And that way I can box them all up in different boxes and then set them up way easier, rather than, if you saw me do this in the self-serve video, extremely tedious task of putting every single keychain on after putting them back in the buckets and taking them out of the buckets and whatnot for setup and tear down. Every single one, not gonna lie, Kayla was right. These hurt my fingers. Every time I put them on, I have to sacrifice a couple of my skin cells. If you guys see me work at the Goosey Pins booth, they have pretty much the same sticker panels. You literally get these from Amazon. Technically, I think they're called like calculator holders or whatever. They're usually used for schools, and they can put like their calculators or their phones or whatever the heck. We're using them here to display stickers, and Goosey Pins does the same, except with pink ones. I wish they made mint green ones. I might have to just paint this myself. I have no idea. Just dip it inside a completely mint green dye. We have to roll these up into burritos because that's what Goosey Pins does, and that's what I've always done. Wrap it into the burrito. I get hair ties. Barely have enough room to get the hair tie over the burrito. We do the other side as well. And there we go. For me, that is enough to get these burritos nice and tight, no stickers fall out, something like that, and then now we just have to do every single one of them. Should I give you guys more tutorials of how I'm doing these things? I don't know. Now, you guys might be asking me like, how are you hanging up the freaking sticker panels onto your canopy? Like, there's a lot of ways to do it, right? Goosey Pins, they bring out their grid displays that they build. I don't have that luxury, because I can't really fit all that in my car. So I just bring these wire grids and I zip tie them to my canopy. But yes, I got these from Daiso. Literally just zip tie them straight onto the metal part of the canopy, and then they hang. They're pretty rigid. I might be able to do a pull up on this, but I don't want to risk that. So yeah, look, Like if someone is aggressive, they probably won't fall off. And then I just hang them, get little carabiners, you know, and then just clip them onto the wire part of the grid like that. But do the other side as well so it doesn't fall. Honestly, carabiners work pretty well. If you wanted to, these pockets come with holes. Technically, you could zip tie them to the wire grids, but it's way easier to just have the carabiners on so you don't have to zip tie every time. But that's my way of displaying the stickers. If you have a better way, if you have a way that you like to do it, I would recommend that instead. Just do what you feel like your heart tells you to. We are finished here at Long Beach. It's been a long week. I felt like I went through a journey. I can't believe I'm still on the grind. I'm just tired, but if I sounded really exhausted and tired this video, I apologize. I was trying to do my best for you guys. But sometimes the weather affects my mood. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes today it is. It's like gloomy, so I feel a little gloomy, but honestly I feel fine. I'm just a little exhausted. I need some more sleep, need some exercise, and then I'll get back to the regular. We're back to the regular soon. We're gonna hop on the phone next week, but we finished packing up. The numbers were good, good show. Very excited to have done Long Beach one last time. For the longest time, I was anxious that I wasn't gonna come back to Long Beach, and I had all these sharks, and I was like, what am I gonna do with them? But especially because I ordered the pins, I was like, I have to come back. I have to. Even if the pins don't pay the insurance off, I could technically still put them up online. I forget about that sometimes. Like I have an online store. I've just been on the road so often, doing events so often that I haven't really had the chance to update the website nor really utilize it for extra sales. Shout out to Kayla and Fiona for helping out. Fiona's not here right now, but Kayla is, as per usual, making it in all these videos.
I know that we haven't had a Kayla intermission in a while. Hoping to see you guys in the future with a Kayla intermission. But it was nice to have Henry at my homeschool, especially since this is probably going to be the last time you'll be here for a while. Pretty cool to finally have a vlog here.
Yeah, it was super cool to see all the students come up, recognize the booth from anime conventions, recognize the booth and me from social media, the videos, the reels, whatever it was. Really exciting to see the supporters come out here at Long Beach. The next time you guys will probably see Kayla is at Anime Riverside, so it'll be a couple of vlogs from now, a little over a month and a half. Other than that, we have a few vlogs coming up, exciting ones. We're at UCSD next week. We have UCI 2 weeks after that, and then we're going to be at DICON at UC Davis, so we'll have a couple events to do, so that means a couple of vlogs. But in the meantime, if you want to check out anything else on our channel to watch me yap, to watch possibly Kayla give an intermission at a few of these events, or just any informative videos I have on my channel, feel free to browse through. There's a lot of good ones and a lot of old ones. Don't watch the old ones. I'm just kidding. Watch the old ones if you want to see how I looked like in the past when I was just starting out my booth. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I'll see you guys in the next one.